Welcome to this week's G.I. Joe toy review, where today we will be looking at the FSS figure subscription service figure of Big Lob, the G.I. Joe resurfaced. This is ironic. Well, I'll get into that later, but ironically, this is the first ever make of Big Lob outside of Vintage Customs, but they didn't start doing the Vintage Customs until later on. But at least where they were becoming more public. But more on that later. But before we get into Big Lob, let's do our shout outs of the week. First, Back to the Media at 41 South Loudon Street, Winchester, Virginia. And you can find them at backtothemedia.com. Backtothemedia@gmail.com is their email address. You could also find them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And they've been doing a lot of Facebook Live stuff, which is pretty cool. And while in the neighborhood, stop at 116 South Loudon Street at Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles. And you can find them at timetravelertoys.com. Or you can email them at timetravelertoys@gmail.com. You can find them on Facebook also. But right now, because of this COVID scare, they're doing a you can only come in and buy something or ask about an item kind of event at the moment. Due to this COVID scare, I hope everybody's doing safe and well. But let's get on to our feature presentation of Big Lob. First, we're going to read his file card. And it says, G.I. Joe resurfaced, codenamed Big Lob. File name Sanders Bradley J. Primary military specialty Infantry Grenadier. Second military specialty Special Forces. Birthplace Chicago, Illinois. His rank is an E4 specialist. Big Lob's outstanding physical prowess made him an athletic standout since elementary school. During high school, his strength, conditioning, speed, and all-around toughness helped him excel in 6 different sports. With college scholarships lined up upon graduation, he chose to enlist in the Army Reserves and serve his country, but still stay close to his hometown and family. Rumors of his outstanding sports prowess and record of precise distance grenade throws were quickly recognized by the G.I. Joe team. He joined under their Rawhides program, which allowed him the flexibility to only report for missions needing his specialized expertise. He is well liked by his teammates, except for his annoying habit of talking about himself in the third person and using sports metaphors on every subject. The concept of throwing grenades goes back to the Greek fire used by the Byzantines and early gunpowder bombs developed by the Chinese in the Tang Dynasty. 13 centuries later, more advanced and specialized versions are still integral part of a modern soldier's ordnance, using his multi-shot grenade launcher for long-range distances. He carries a full arsenal of high explosive flechette, incendiary chemical compounds, and even smoke grenades to accomplish any mission objective. And here's a quote at the very bottom, obviously from Big Lob, because he uses himself in the third person. When Big Lob makes his move, he always shoots and scores for the big score. Always shoots to score the big win. That's the file card. It was pretty much accurate for the cartoon, cause whatnot. As you can tell with his sports gear, but get into that later. But let's look at his accessories. Starting with the figure stand. Upraised G.I. Joe logo, codename Big Lob on the front. He's got his little pistol He comes with a little pistol. Nice sculpted little gray pistol. And he also comes with this high barrel grenade launcher. And anybody can remember this, because if they remember the old Fences hardball figure, this is what hardball came with. So let's take a look at Big Lob, our specialty of the week. You know, as you can see, he's African American. Tell by his skin tone, with the jet black hair. You know, pretty awesome paint applications. We can actually see his eyes. You know, he's got the number 14 red and gold jersey, basketball jersey. Kind of looks like the same kind of jersey that Bazooka had, but Bazooka's was a football jersey. And then he's got his removable grenade sash. And followed by a brown belt with pouches and hooks and whatnot all across it. Down to his green fatigue pants. And his brown, looks like they could pass his Timberland boots. You know, which is pretty cool. So let's take a look at his articulation. His head can spin a full 360. His arm, pardon the stiffness on my example. I can lift about here. Arm can rotate full 360. He can bend at the elbow. Rotate a full 360. His wrist can rotate a full 360. He does have his ab crunch feature and is not hindered by the web gear. Legs, typical T-hooks, spreads out about there. He lifted the leg at about 90 degrees. And he also has his double knee joint, but of course my example was kind of stiff right there at the knees. Oh no, actually, wait a minute, I stand corrected. He actually has a single knee joint. I stand corrected. Must be wearing my orthopedic shoes this morning. And he does not have no ankle articulation. You know, with this figure, unfortunately, but that's still cool though. No ankle articulation. We don't need it. We don't need them on every figure, but hey, it does work if they have it. But let's take a look at Big Lob all set up in battle gear. And voila, here he is in battle gear. As you can see, my G.I. Joe collection in the background. But this is Big Lob in his battle gear, ready for battle with the grenade launcher and the pistol in his hands. Big Lob made his cartoon appearance, his first cartoon appearance and only cartoon appearance in the G.I. Joe animated movie by the same title. You know, in the Rawhides program, along with guys like Falcon and Chuckles and Jinx and Tunnel Rat and the rest of them. And he was known for being very annoying with his sports metaphors and third-person commentary during all his training exercises and during the big battle scenes in the cartoon movie. That was kind of annoying, but you know, that's what made Big Lob Big Lob. Great character, great gimmick for his for who he is. I have no recollection of any comic book appearances, but if I'm wrong, put it in the listed in the comments below. But I don't recall him ever being in the comic book. But my thoughts on this figure: very good design, Great accessories, great look. I really love this figure. He is a really great figure. I would rank him as a top tier figure. Even though his character is kind of annoying, but he is still an awesome figure. I really enjoy this figure a lot, and I'm glad to have him in my collection. But that's my opinions and thoughts on Big Lob. This has been Big Lob. Tune in next week as we review a very sentimental figure, which is also a very special video for me, as we do the review of Worms, and more on why that figure is so this review is so special. Because actually, I'll let you know now, I'm actually dedicating this review to my mom, who passed away 2 years ago. But I'll tell you more about why I'm dedicating it to her in next week's video. But tune in next week as we review Big Lob, or as this has been Big Lob. Tune in next week as we review Worms. But this has been Big Lob, and that's for the Cobra Island channel. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Tune in next week. Love y'all. Be safe. Wash your hands, sanitize, social distance. Stay safe. Love y'all, and we'll get through this pandemic. See y'all next week.